So, Alison, tell me, prior to joining LMA, where were you in your life? What were the challenges that you were facing, and how were those challenges affecting you in your life?
Okay, so it was in 2020, just during the early stages of lockdown,
Mm.
which I think everything just came to a head. Um, and for some time prior to that, I couldn't actually put um, a point on what it was, but there were so many things that I was unhappy with my life. Um, But looking at it from the outside, people would never realize that. You know, everything had a great family, great husband, good job, nice home, friends, but there was something just missing in my life. And I had started to get really, really anxious.
Mhm.
And I think through COVID, it just exploded. So everything that I'd probably hidden all this time because I had no outlet,
Yeah.
it sort of all just rose up. And suddenly I found myself to be very anxious, not sleeping, constantly overthinking, thinking thoughts of, the worst case scenario. There really wasn't a lot of joy in my life,
Yeah.
even though there should have been, but there
Mhm.
was just something missing.
Yeah, I hear that. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. And I actually remember that's when we met. It was at the very
There's
beginning of your journey. So tell me, what has motivated you to join LMA? Of course, maybe it was the first time you saw them. Did you have any concerns? And what made you to just like take that step forward?
Tommy is so right, because it was like I had a sort of out of body experience, is the only way that I can describe that. I remember it vividly. And it was a Saturday afternoon. Um, I was probably looking for some motivational um, help, support, but I didn't really know what. And then all of a sudden, Tim popped up, who I'd never ever heard of, never seen before. And he was just speaking to me. And there was a class that we could join. And I remember shaking and thinking, how does this man know what is deep within me that I haven't told anybody else?
Mm.
How does he know that's how I'm feeling? I was literally crying. And I just remember it so vividly, because that was it. I knew that somehow I had to find a pathway to healing myself.
Mm.
And I ran downstairs. My husband must have wondered what was going on. And I just stuck the laptop in front of him and said, I've got to have this. And he was like, "Oh, what you who is it? We don't know anything about him. What is this you're doing?" And I remember crying and saying, I need to have this. I need it. And he said, okay, if you think it will help, because obviously he'd been witnessing how I had been. And he said, if you think this will help you, Alison, then that's it. And it was literally, there was no hesitation, there was no apprehension. I hadn't heard of Tim, I hadn't heard of Success Insider. He just appeared, and it was like something had just dropped right into my heart. So that's the only way I can explain it. And said, you've got to do it no matter what. And that was the start. And it was it was after that, then I was like, oh gosh, what have I done?
Yeah.
I've said I'm going to do it. What have I done? Um, but absolutely, it was one the best. Best isn't even the right word. The best investment that I made for myself,
Mm.
um, but not just for me. It had, LMA has a ripple effect on everybody around you. So ultimately, you do it for yourself because there's something that you want to either heal or uncover, or you want a better life, or you know there's something more for you. But eventually, and I've got goosebumps now while I'm saying this to you, because it has a ripple effect on the people that you love, the people that you don't know, people you come into contact with. And honestly, 3 years later, it is still, I'm still getting goosebumps. I'm still feeling that ripple effect. And I'm not the same person I was when I remember coming to you and you'd be helping me with all sorts. How do I get onto the course? And just all sorts of things, really. The team at Success Insider are really second to none. And I'd never experienced any personal development. I didn't know how it worked. But what I can say is it is a personal touch. It's a personal touch that you get from everybody. Even though there's lots of students out there, when you're connecting either with a member of the team, you're not a number, you are an individual, you're a part of the community. And it's the support that you get from everybody that helps you, inspires you, helps you on those dark days when you feel that you're alone and you can't go on. You're not. It's just an amazing program and platform to be able to grow from, just experience. And it is a lifetime. It isn't a one-off. It's not a course. It's not a quick fix. It's if you are serious about making changes in your life, if you're serious about the possibilities and the future opportunities that are out there for you, you just have to embrace it and see what it can do for you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was just listening to you and I have goosebumps all over. And I think for me to speak with you today is very special because I honestly remember when you first started, and I remember the version of you that I met, and actually seeing you today, you are glowing. You truly are. And I think everybody can see it. It's not just me. It's there. It's the glow, but it's in your eyes. It's in your smile. It's in your energy. And that makes me so happy. And I think interesting thing is actually having this conversation with you when you didn't go just for 6 weeks. It's been at least 3 years now that you are on board, and it's been an ongoing journey because you went through it, then you had a break, then you went through it again, and it's kind of ongoing, which I think it just shows that the program, first of all, you can apply it in all different stages of your life, but also for personal reasons, is that self-development doesn't end with 6 weeks. It's something that you keep on coming back because there's always new layers that you discover and uncover. So I want to ask you, Alison, for you specifically, in those 3 years, what would you say was the biggest maybe breakthrough or the biggest shift that you have experienced through LMA and through this journey?
I'm glad you asked that question, Tom, because Tim talks about joining the dots, that we go back and we join the dots. And sometimes when you are going through life, you don't always see what progress you've made. And so looking back on those 3 years, the most changes I've seen in my life is that I'm absolutely a more confident person. I understand that this is a journey. It isn't, as I said before, it's not a quick fix. And there are times when my life isn't going to be this rosy pattern. There are going to be times where contrast happens, and I'm aware of that. But through that, I have now a bag of tools, basically, that I know that at those points I can dip into and pick up those tools that I need, or that will help and support me best to work out whatever situation is going on. It's definitely improved my communication with my loved ones, with my family, with everybody I come into contact with. It's given me a belief in myself, which I suppose if I was to put it in a nutshell, it's made me realize everything and anything I do say have is a choice. Everything is a choice that I have.
Mm.
And you being able to use that choice and to know that whatever choice I make is going to be the best pathway for me.
Yeah.
Um, so it's living day by day. We talk about a day one mentality of getting up every day, day one, new day, wipe the slate clean. And that's how I live now. I plan, I have goals, I have dreams. But in the morning, where, I would say like 3 years ago, I've totally changed. My lifestyle's changed, my health has changed, my relationships have changed. Other people tell me that I've changed. They can see it. And and I've made choices, I've decided, I've made big decisions in my life that I feel confident about, and I haven't second guessed it. I've carried on with it, even though it might have been a little bit scary at the
Yeah.
time. I've made those decisions, and really that's it. There's no one thing, because
Mm.
every day is day one. Every
Yeah.
day is a new day of possibilities, and yeah, I'm very grateful for that, because it is life changing. I know probably, lots of people will have said similar things, um, but just how you perceive yourself, um, how you are able to process certain things, certain challenges, and you said, I always remember it being like an onion. I always had this picture of when
Yeah.
you start LMA, you've got this big fat onion with a big skin on it, and during the 6 weeks you probably peel that big thick layer off the onion,
Mm.
and then as you go back you may find there's a few more layers and a few more layers, and that's fine. That's absolutely okay, because that's part of the journey, to peel away the layers, let them go, and eventually it's smaller and sweeter, and it's just a wonderful feeling to have.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm listening. I am genuinely so happy for you. And it's interesting because I've seen you grow. I've seen you turning from one version to another to another to now. And it's honestly, it's not ending. It's just the beginning, if anything,
Exactly.
because this version of you is capable of so much more. And I'm just so excited to see how it will unfold and keep on unfolding. So for people that are listening to your story and maybe they can resonate with where you're coming from, with what you've gone through, and they love seeing you and how you glow now, but they still feel maybe a little bit on the fence whether they should join LMA or not, what would you say to that person that's currently 50-50 if they should come on board or not?
Yeah, I can appreciate if somebody is feeling like that, because it's obvious that you are looking for something, and you're looking for maybe that magic thing, which isn't magic at all. It's not a quick fix, but it is a lifetime guarantee if you follow the steps that Success Insider and Tim put out for you. If you follow those small crumbs, don't take the whole thing at once. Just take the tiny crumbs that you can digest, that you can take in, and let that be enough and know that eventually you will be able to take in more and more of the teachings and the methods, and you will be able to apply them more and more, then you must go for it, because not everybody can take in lots of information at once, and I was one of those people. And that's the beauty of having the course, because you can go back to it. And each time that you do that, you find something else out of it. And you think, was that in there before? Because I didn't see it. Is that new? But it wasn't new. It's just you weren't ready for it. So you're ready for what you can receive. And if you can accept that for yourself, you know, it's your journey. You take it at the pace that you want to take it. There's no, yes, it's a 6-week course, but it just goes on for a lifetime. You are in control of that, nobody else. And just take it a bite size at a time. Really let it embed in you. And when you feel that you've done that, yeah, then just go on to the next one. I would say wholeheartedly, if I could, you know, give it as gifts to all my family and to my friends, if I could give them a gift for Christmas or for whenever, I would certainly do that and say, you know, it's for life. And anybody who's even thinking about it, don't hesitate. Go and see and try it on, see if you like it, see if it's working for you. If one thing works, then something else will follow on. And I wouldn't hesitate for the amount of people's lives it's changed. It's certainly changed my life, and you know, I'm just forever grateful that it has had an impact and is continuing to have such an impact on my life and those people that I love and those who are around me.